Hi there, Carson Hetty. Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. If you are currently looking for work, first off, my heart, prayers, and thoughts are certainly with you. Wanted to provide a couple of thoughts today on things that you can be doing. These are things that I've done in the past when I've looked for work, and also things that I've learned over the last several years as I've been a hiring manager. It's all about odds and probabilities, quite frankly. You're planting seeds every single day, but you got to think about the activities that are going to have the highest probability of success. If you go out and apply to a job on a job board, you got to realize how many other thousands of people may be applying to that same job. So if you have a 1 in 1,000 probability of getting a job just by clicking on something, although that activity is easy, that does not give you a high probability of landing the job. Even if you apply to 100 jobs, you still have a 90% chance by that math that you won't get that role. So it's all about finding the ways to enhance your odds of success. The first off is your pitch, right? And it's selling yourself. So the material that you put forward, be it your resume, cover letter, your LinkedIn profile, these things are all extremely important when you're doing that. So be sure that your resume speaks about actual numbers, statistics, projects that you've done, results, because those are the types of things that a hiring manager wants to look at and say, hey, I want that person working for me. The other thing I would say there is with your LinkedIn profile, make sure that it is, your LinkedIn and your resume should be kindred spirits. They should be very similar in nature, a lot of the same results and type things, because recruiters a lot of times these days will find you on LinkedIn. So make sure that your resume and your LinkedIn are talking to each other. Lastly, find the ways that you stand out. And I say that because with 1,000 job candidates up for the same job, you want to find the ways that you differentiate yourself from the pack. A lot of people are going to have the same experience or better. A lot of people are going to have the same education or better. How do you stand out? Are you an artist? Are you a musician? I have contacts that have played up their saxophone skills on their resume, and it gets conversations. It's a conversation starter, and right now, what do you want? You want to be having conversations. I once actually had a recruiter reach out to me only because I had listed on my resume that I had written a book. So it was something that made me stand out, and I got a conversation. The next thing I'd say is once you've established your pitch and your materials that are going out there with your resume, your LinkedIn, then think about the warmest leads. Again, sales and looking for a job are very similar because you are selling yourself. So think about what's the warmest lead that you could be going after. And that's somebody that you already know. Making sure that all the people that you know that you are in need, that you are looking. Don't ask for jobs though. Ask for advice, ask for guidance, ask for feedback. Because you might be able to have a conversation with somebody that can point you in the right direction. I'm having a lot of these right now, and while I might not necessarily be hiring or know of a role that's immediately available, I can certainly point them in the right direction, introduce them to people that I know via LinkedIn. There's a litany of ways that your network can be helping you. Those are the warmest leads. I look back in my career, and the majority of the jobs that I've ever gotten have been because of relationships that I had, and somebody pulled me into a new role. And that is how it works. That gives you the highest probability of success. So those are the types of relationships you want to focus on first, people that you know. Second, you want to look at creating new relationships. Through the power of social media and LinkedIn specifically, you do have the capability to go out there and find people that are in a decision-making power, people that are hiring managers in these organizations. So if you're looking for a role, let's say you find a job on Indeed or Monster or Career Builder or LinkedIn or whatever may have you, and you love the job. You like, oh, I'd be perfect for this. Well, again, realize your odds of getting it might be 1 in 1,000, but you can enhance your chances by making relationships at that organization, by connecting with people in that organization that might be in a hiring capacity. So first, look and see if you know anybody at that company. Second, look to see if you know anybody who knows anybody at that company. Third, try to make direct relationships. Send a LinkedIn connection request and just tell them something along the lines of, hey, based on our mutual interests and your experience, I felt you'd be a wonderful person with whom to share ideas and that I could learn from. something like that. The likelihood of connection is heightened because you've given them a personalized intro. And then when you follow up in a day or two, don't ask for a job and don't tell them necessarily that you're looking for work. Tell them that, given their experience in this industry and you're looking to parlay your skills into this industry, you'd love to get 10, 15 minutes of their time for feedback or advice. And those are the types of things that enhance your chances of getting success. Because really, again, what are you looking for? You're looking for conversations. And you're wanting to start a lot of these different types of conversations. And there's strength in numbers. If you send that out to one person, the likelihood of getting a response may be low. But if you send it out to 100 people in a day, you're going to get some conversations. And so apply a process and execute it consistently. I know that there's going to be ups and downs. In the job search, there are days where you're riding high, you feel great, you want to go get them. And then there's other days where you feel upset, you feel depressed, you feel anxious, you feel worried. Go out and execute this process every day. It works. I know this for a fact. The other thing I would say, once you've absolutely scour the job boards, it's a great place to look and see the companies that are hiring, where there may be some new potential opportunity for new relationships, because new relationships become existing relationships. Once you've had a dialogue or you're out there where they can see things that you post on social media, there's a strength in that because you find ways to stay top of mind. The other thing, too, I had a friend of mine tell me this years ago, follow the zeros. And what that means is go where checks are being written with a lot of zeros behind them. Where's the money right now? What's happening in the world? A lot of people are transitioning to remote work. There are needs that exist because of that. So think about different industries. Think about how they're being impacted right now, and then where you can add value in all of that, because ultimately that's your pitch. And maybe you fashion your LinkedIn, you fashion your resume to speak to what you've done in ambiguous times, projects that you've undertaken, things that you've done, real results that could add value in a time like this. Don't worry about how many conversations you're having either. And a lot of people worry like, hey, I got this conversation that's going great and I might get this job offer, but what about this one? If this comes, don't worry about that. Until there's a job offer on the table that's viable, that's something you want to do, the job isn't over. In fact, a lot of people are still to this day, they're happy in their work, but they're continuing to follow a process like this because they want to continue to develop new relationships and because they will eventually want to do something else. And so it's important to have relationships and have conversations. Just because you have a conversation, it's not like you're married and you're cheating on your significant other. That's a big no-no. However, if you're having conversations and you're getting feedback and guidance, it's almost like a mentorship. And I feel like, especially in a time like this, a lot of people are very willing to have those types of conversations with you, to give feedback and guidance. And that's the way the world needs to be right now. We need to be helping each other, having conversations, pointing people in the right direction, making recommendations. So, my thoughts and prayers are certainly with you. I pray that your job search is fruitful. And, if there's ever any questions or if I can help in any way, do not ever hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, happy to help in any way that I can. So thank you and God bless.